Today I'm speaking to Izzy from the Paddington Art Prize. Paddington Art Prize is a $30,000 National Acquisitive Prize awarded annually for a painting inspired by the Australian landscape. Established in 2004 by arts patron Marlene Antico, OAM, it has become one of the country's most lucrative and highly coveted prestigious painting prizes, now in its 22nd year. Welcome to Arts Wednesday, Izzy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And what a lovely introduction.
Thank you. Now, some quite big things are on the horizon. So the main prize, the Paddington Art Prize, is now becoming, amongst the many things that it is, an incredible foundation and giving real substance to a new competition called the Young Paddo. Incredible initiative. So someone there has come up with this absolutely brilliant idea. Entries open 3 February, close 29 June. How did the idea of an art prize for young people come about?
Well, the Paddington Art Prize, in a lot of ways, is a beautiful family prize. So my grandmother, Marlene, was the founder, and as a family, we sort of have continued the vision for over 20 years. I work alongside my mum and my uncle. So honestly, it would have just been over a cup of tea with Nan where we were all talking, and I think I just sort of in passing said, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a bit of a youth prize one day? And everyone sort of, I think, took that idea and we ran with it. And here we are.
Fantastic. So what ages are we looking at?
Yeah, so the prize is welcome to artists aged 5 to 18. The artists will be split into 4 age categories, so from 5 to 8 years, 9 to 12, 13 to 15, and 16 to 18. Each of those categories will be awarded a winner and an honourable mention. So out of 20 finalists altogether, there'll be at least 4 winners and 4 honourable mentions for each age category. So yeah, really excited to be welcoming young people to the Paddo.
Yeah, it's great. It really is a great initiative because I guess if you want to look at, what's happening or what's new, go to the kids and see what they're doing, which isn't to say that, isn't to say that adults are also not constantly evolving and doing new things, but it's always interesting to see what the kids are doing. Now, the main prize, the Paddington Art Prize, is very much a contemporary art prize competition. Going through the finalists and winners over the years, especially recently, we see a lot of, abstraction, expressive colour, brush strokes inspired by emotion. I guess an interpretation that reinvents and challenges our idea of what a landscape painting is, and what it says about not just the artist, but where painting is going. Not that it's entirely new, but it is contemporary. Will this inform the young Paddo? Will you be looking for the same contemporary interpretation of landscape?
Well, I think it will honestly be up to the judges. So we do have a few judges that you'll have to follow our social media for their announcement. And so it really will be up to them. I mean, each year we have for the adults Paddington Art Prize 3 different judges who bring their own taste and perspective about landscape to the competition. So every year, you do see such a mix of the finalists and the winners. It often changes, which I think is what keeps the prize on its toes. I find landscape to be such a beautiful way of, as you say, tapping into the sort of zeitgeist of thought, what people are seeing in front of them, how they're interacting with the world. Is that in a more realist sense? Are we bringing the abstraction in? I find it really interesting every year to come and see as well how varied and diverse and beautiful the Australian landscape is. And the connection that landscape painting has both to post-colonial Australia and also prior to colonisation, and the way that Australian art looks at the landscape is so different. It is, the interpretation of First Nations art in comparison to contemporary white Australian art as well. I find it such a beautiful mix of all the different perspectives. So I hope and I would anticipate that we'll see a very similar thing with the young ones. I'm really excited to see their interpretations of the landscape that's around them from their younger perspective, I'm really keen to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So they can interpret the landscape in whichever way they like, and any interpretation is potentially going to be a winner.
Absolutely. So the similar to the Paddington Art Prize, the Young Paddo is a painting prize. So and I was doing size restrictions for the Young Paddo to an A4.
I'm gonna come to that.
Oh, sorry, sorry, I'm getting ahead of you.
Yeah. Now, what I'm really interested to know, will they be exhibited at the same time in the same venue as the Paddington Art Prize?
Yes, they will be. So another really fabulous moment
another whole
to
aspect.
And to give young artists the opportunity to have access to those spaces, I think is so important. So we will have a separate opening just because the opening night for the Paddington Art Prize is on a Thursday, so it is a school night. So we will have a separate prize presentation for the young ones, but they will be hanging and exhibiting alongside the Adults Paddington Art Prize.
What a great idea! Yeah,
what a cool opportunity for them. I think
it is totally, and for the viewer as well.
Yes, totally.
So how would you curate an exhibition where you have, all these amazing adult works juxtaposed with, sort of artworks from 5-year-olds to 18-year-olds? How would you curate that? Is it going to be sort of separate rooms or?
Well, so this year we'll also be doing the Paddington Art Prize and the Young Paddo at Cooey Art Levin Gallery in Redfern. It's a beautiful open space, absolutely stunning gallery and a gorgeous team, and we're so thankful for their support. We'll be hanging the Young Paddo Prize not in a separate room because it is a sort of open plan space, but in its own sort of space, its own wall in the venue. So you'll be able to sort of see the wide breadth of the Young Paddo entries in the same sort of space, but right alongside and in the same area as the broader Paddington Art Prize for adults as well. I think that's really cool to be able to compare and contrast the different perspectives between the two. So I'm really excited, but honestly, this is our first year, so it'll be a learning experience for us all.
It'll be fantastic. It really will. Now, how are entrants to present their work? What media are they to use, and what can't they do? What can't they present? What's not acceptable? And what are the rules?
So there are a few rules. The full T&Cs are available on the paddingtonartprize.com.au. First and foremost, we'll be accepting entries from parents and guardians, so that's the big number one. The Young Paddo is a painting prize, similar to the Paddington Art Prize, so there's many different mediums of paint, but any of those is fine. And we will be doing a size restriction for A4 paper for the Young Paddo, so that's basically it. It's a painting prize on paper. The interpretation is yours from there, really.
Now, there's no AI won't be accepted, and neither will Photoshop. Which is great.
Yes, so we do have that, just that specificity that it is a painting prize and that the expectation
done by hand.
Done by the artist.
And the prizes, what's the prize structure?
So we've got, of the 4 age categories, there is 1 winning prize and 1 honourable mention to each. Cash prizes for these young ones to be taking home. So each winner for an age category would receive $500 and the honourable mention $250.
Great. So can you tell us a bit about the judges and how you chose them, or did they choose you?
Yes, absolutely. So we have had a lot of interest coming out of the woodworks since the sort of whispers of the Young Paddo have been circulating. 3 judges have been announced. So the first, Emily Portman, is an artist and senior school art educator. We've got Letta Booth, a senior school art educator as well, and Michael Clark, a year 7 to 12 project officer at the VADA. So we're really excited to have judges who are part of the school community or a part of art for young people and really have that sensibility. We're very excited. Our first judges for the Young Paddo.
And now, most importantly, Izzy, what are the key dates?
Yes, absolutely. So entries are open right now. They opened on February 3rd, so we're a month or so in now.
Yep.
Entries open, they close on June 29th. Finalists will be announced on July 18th. There will be an opening night or a prize presentation for the Young Paddo, details of which to be announced, but we will be also showing them alongside the Paddington Art Prize. And the day for the Paddington Art Prize this year is October the 16th at Kiwi Art 11 Gallery in Redfern.
And so what's it looking like so far? Have any entries so far?
Yeah, we're getting lots of people signing up and having a look at the form. And I have heard some whispers in the background that there are some art classes that are painting for the prize, which warms my heart so much.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm so excited to hear and see what these young people have got.
Are doing, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Izzy, finally, what advice, so if there's some potential entrants out there now listening, what advice would you give to them about what they're going to do and what they're going to enter with?
Great question. I think my biggest piece of advice is go for it the way that your heart interprets the landscape in front of you is right, and to go with that. Don't doubt yourself. I think a lot of young people, they are faced with the sort of in-between of two different stages of their life. You know, they're reflecting inwards, they're also reflecting outwards and looking at the world around them. And I would say just know that your perspective is valid, that we want to hear what you have to say, and through your art. And so, do it. Nobody else can paint the way you can paint.
Yeah, and sometimes I guess that sometimes it's deciding which idea to use. Sometimes too many ideas, too many interpretations. So it's pretty exciting. So Izzy, good luck with it. We can't wait for to all be exhibited all together. And thanks so much for joining us on Arts Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you for inviting us, and I hope to hear from all of these lovely artists listening.
Yeah, well, hopefully closer to time we can chat again.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Izzy.
Thank you so much.
Cosa mi resterà?